Good morning, good morning. This is Pierre Laguerre here, your daily motivator, here to challenge, inspire, and motivate you today. Today on episode 429, as I am looking out there, checking out what it looks like, it's a beautiful day. And I'm here to tell you there are some gorgeous days ahead wherever you are. But today I'm here to talk to you about celebrating zero. And let's explain what exactly that means. You're probably wondering, Pierre, what do you mean to celebrate zero? Yup, this is the place that a lot of families need to be right now. And as I'm looking over the ocean right now, it's really calm, it's beautiful. There's some people doing some construction in the apartment below mine, so you might hear them at times. But what you could hear right now is the wind and the birds. So what exactly does it mean to celebrate zero? It's simple, my friend. When it comes to getting to this financial plan that we started talking about yesterday, you've got to focus on getting out of debt. You've got to focus on paying cash for your cars and paying cash for your home. You know, I can talk about this because I've paid cash for 2 cars way back when. And I remember how good it felt to walk off the lot with a car that is fully paid for, that I did not have to look back and think about a note coming in the mail a month later. Because I remember also having to finance a car way back in 1999. What a difference it was in 2012 and 2013 to be able to buy cars with nothing but cash. You know, one of my favorite preachers would say, look, when the car breaks down, all you've got is the ability to say, what will we choose next? And this is the same thing. Think with me. If you have a ton of bananas and one of them goes bad, it's not a big deal. But if it's your only banana left, or if it's your only loaf of bread left, and suddenly that loaf falls in the sink full of water, we got a problem. Well, this is the same thing we're talking about. When we talked about your financial plan, we talked about your assets and liabilities. But now I want to talk to you about bringing things down to a point where assets are greater than liabilities and bringing your liabilities down to practically zero. And that means having no car note, having no mortgage. Are you saying, Pierre, come on, that's impossible. If I don't want a mortgage, I'll just go rent. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Nothing wrong with renting, mind you. Renting might be the best thing for you to do until you can buy a house for cash. But guess what? When we're talking about celebrating zero, we're saying getting to the point where you have that true ownership mentality. And this is really what you were sent to do on this earth, which is why we all want to own stuff. This is nothing new. You know, wanting to own is part of our DNA. And I'm not going to take much more time today just to tell you, when you start putting down all your liabilities and you start seeing how much you're bleeding in terms of interest, then you're going to have to make a decision. I remember working on my snowball, the debt snowball. That's what Dave Ramsey calls it. I remember working on that to eliminate debt from my life. But you know what? The best way to eliminate debt from your life is to really go ahead and have a plan to make more money. You know, you can go ahead and center down and cut back on all the debt and everything that you have. And you can go down and simplify your life, and that's important as well. You know, that's great advice. But eventually, you need to be living in the overflow. And this is why I told you this has to be a financial revolution. The job you have right now is not going to help you get out of debt. Well, it may, but it's going to take you probably 6 to 7 years. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're willing to commit. You see, Pastor Garrick, has checked, and he's seen that everybody, as a guy who's delved with over 20,000 folks in their finances, he has found that usually in 6 to 7 years, people could get out of debt with their current income. How crazy is that? And I have to give him props because I found out about his stuff back in 2010, and it helped change my mindset. But my point to you is this. You've got to make a decision to get to zero. Get to a point where you owe no man nothing but to love them. And this is something that a lot of us don't live with that vision. We don't look to owe no man nothing. And all we look for is, how do I simply stay afloat? And the average family is okay living from paycheck to paycheck as long as they're staying afloat. And friend, that's a big problem. And of course, the average family in America does not have more than $1,000 saved in case of emergency. And when we're talking average, we're saying 70% of the American families. That's crazy. Now, keep in mind, we're seeing on television all those that have multiple millions of dollars and how they're spending it and things they're doing. But keep in mind, those are the celebrities. Those are what we would call the oddities. But they don't have to be the oddities. You need to position yourself to be in a place where you can be free from bleeding through interest. Who told you you had to pay for a house for 30 years? Who told you you had to take a car note and pay for 39 months and then still after doing that you still have to finance it some more? Somebody convinced you of that and you bought it. Hook, line, and sink. You know what I'm saying? You bought the whole thing as if it were the truth and nothing but the truth. But in reality, somebody is lying to you. And that somebody's eating your money at the same time. And friend, you're going to have to make a decision to decide that you want a financial revolution. And all that means is you got to make a decision to get out of debt. Yes, I know you probably worked on it before. And if you're in a place where you have little income and you have huge liabilities, that has to change. And this may be why you may want to check out the most profitable business model yet so that you can start a business that can start generating money. Maybe you need to start a side business, something that's not going to cost you a lot out of pocket. And that's why, I always invite people to check out that particular document, because what it will give you, it will not only teach you about the 5 most popular business models going right now, including brick and mortar, but why you need to really check into expertise and education. Why you really need to check the fact that you may already be an expert in something and you can help somebody else out there. And most people are afraid to venture in that space. But guess what? God has given you gifts and you need to use those gifts. And in using those gifts will make room for you. And that room will come in the form of more income. But if you're not willing to step out and actually create a space, create opportunity, then there's not much anybody else can do for you. I'm here always to encourage you, also to challenge you, and to let you know it's possible. Look, I got 3 children that I'm taking care of. I'm a single man with my children, and I'm enjoying life with them. But I know there's better, and I'm striving to reach to a better place. But I'm sure you are also doing the same thing. You see what I'm saying? You are striving to, I don't want you to think about staying above water. I want you to know that there is a greater destiny for you. And because there's a greater destiny for you, you now must think at a higher level to step out of the current circumstances that are around you. Because those circumstances are doing nothing else but stopping you from going the direction that you're supposed to be in. You see, you're not going to move in a certain direction if there's a huge obstacle in front of you. Right now, if I wanted to go out over the sea, I need a boat. I need a vehicle. I need some way to get out there towards the horizon. Well, in the same way, you've got a destiny. You need the right vehicle. And friend, I'm telling you, you need provision for your vision. You can't go out there without provision. The church has taught us all about healing and so many other things, but now it's time for you to step out and take your place, take your authority, and understand that finances are something that you're supposed to be dominating. And this is why I'm always calling you to start a business. I'm always going to tell you, look, there are different business models, and though you may have a current one that you're doing, you need to check out the 5 business models. And you need to see that you have the skills, the expertise necessary to actually start the next business model, to start the next business, because all everybody's looking for at the end of the day is a different stream of income, meaning a secondary, a tertiary stream of income. And I'm sure you're looking for the same as well. So today I'm calling you to celebrate zero. I'm calling you to start thinking about getting rid of debt, jettison it, let it go, so that you can focus on your calling, your destiny. Again, you're going to need provision for your vision, but if you don't go to a point where you fix your money thing and get to celebrate zero, you will never get there. This is Pierre Laguerre, your daily motivator. I hope I've challenged you today, and I look forward to catching up with you on the next episode. Have a great day.